Hello everyone. In this video I will be showing you how to create gold gradient animated text. So to get started, let's create a new image. I'll be going with an 800 by 400. And I do want my background to be black, so notice I have the background selected as black. And then just click OK. Okay. Next, I will be adding the text. So click the text tool, and I think I'll change the font to something that is a little bit thicker. Since this will be using a gradient fill, I want it to really show. And okay, that one looks like a good choice there. So I'm going to change the text color here. Let's change the text color to white. Okay, this will be the starting point. Oops. Okay, let me get my text tool back. Okay. And so I'm simply going to type fun with GIMP. Okay, and let's increase that size to fit a little bit better in our canvas. And okay, that looks good. Now I'm just going to grab the select tool and pull it towards the center and get it aligned a little bit better. So now what we're going to do is merge the text with the background so that we can sort of create a template or a base for our animation, and we'll just use the merge down feature. Okay, so now notice that our background and our first layer has been merged, or a text layer. Now I am renaming this to template because, like I said, this will be the base frame basically, because we are doing animation, so each of our layers will become a frame. So now what we'll want to do is duplicate. We can choose the icon down there, or we can come up here to layers and duplicate layer. But notice we're not creating a new layer, we're simply duplicating the existing layer. Okay, now let's rename the duplicated layer to frame 1. Okay, now with frame 1 selected, go ahead and select the gradient tool. You'll want to make sure that your gradient style is set to linear and that you're using the custom gradient mode. Once your custom gradient mode is selected, make sure that your color swatches reflect your beginning color and your end color. Okay, so I'll be using a beginning color of white and an end color of gold. And notice how the color swatch colors are reflected in the gradient. I think I'll stick with the white. So with frame 1 selected, what we'll need to do now is actually select the text. So grab the fuzzy select tool and then just select within your canvas area. When you do this, if you notice the marquee running around the edges of the canvas, that indicates that the black area is currently selected. We'll need to invert that, so go to select and then invert. Notice now that the marquee is only running around the text and not the canvas area. This indicates that the text is selected. This is what we want. Now go in and get the gradient tool. Start at the left side of the F. We're just going to pull to the right, so click and hold and drag, and we're just going to pull to the right to begin the gradient effect on frame 1. So that looks pretty good for frame 1. Now what we'll need to do is duplicate. So I've duplicated the template again. This time I'll be starting the gradient a little bit further to the right than I did last time. And then I'll be pulling it a little bit further to the right as well. Okay. Alright, so now to check the effect between the frame 1 and frame 2, we can just kind of toggle. So you can see where I'm going with this. It's going to be just kind of scrolling across the text. So what I'll do is I'll continue with this process. Once I get halfway through the animation, I'll end up flipping the gradient so that I can continue the animation and it'll look seamless. But for now, I'll be just continuing this part of the animation. Okay, now it's time to flip the gradient. So to flip the gradient, just select the little toggle switch next to it. Okay, now I will just continue with the same process as I did before. And because the gradient is now going from dark to light, it will look like the color is coming back into the text. Okay, now that we have the last frame done, let's go ahead and for the final touch, what we'll need to do is make a copy of the very first frame. We're actually going to use that copy as the last frame. That way, as the animation loops, the first and the last frame will blend seamlessly. Now, what we'll need to do is we'll go ahead and hide the background. We don't want that to actually become part of the animation. Now, go to File, Export As. You'll see the dialog box. Make sure you choose the folder you want to store your animation. Then type the name of your animation. I'll be using animatedgoldtext.gif. Now make sure you use the extension .gif. That's what will bring up this next dialog box. Notice here you have an option as animation. Make sure that is selected. For the milliseconds, I'm going to enter in 300 milliseconds. Remember that 1000 milliseconds is 1 second. So depending on how quickly you want your frames to be rotated, you will choose this number depending on that. As I said before, 300 milliseconds is good for my animation. It is roughly 1/3 of a second. So once you've decided on your values and everything is entered in as shown, then you can choose Export. Oh, let me not forget about Loop Forever. Obviously, if that's selected, it means your animation will be looping forever. If this is deselected or unchecked, then your animation will play one time, and that's it. Now click Export. Okay, now that the image is exported, let's go ahead and go to the folder and open up the image to view our animation. Okay, and that's what it looks like as an animated GIF or animated GIF. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.